Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the 2% collection, which is a collaboration between Goruck, Huckberry, and Michael Easter. This collection includes a Bullet Ruck and 40L GR2, both in Ripstop nylon, which is a really interesting travel combination. I've had great experiences with Goruck's Ripstop collection in the past. I've used the GR1 and the M23 in that fabric. And I was really excited for this collaboration because I'm not only a huge fan of Goruck and Huckberry, but I really love Michael Easter's books. He's the author of The Comfort Crisis and Scarcity Brain. Really enjoyed reading them. Lots of eye-opening information in those books. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, I definitely recommend them. And I've also really liked the Gear Lab videos that Michael Easter has done with Huckberry on their site. He shared some of his experiences from being out in the field. And so for this collaboration, they took, the really great foundations of the Bullet Ruck, the GR2, and added some interesting updates. And so I was excited to get hands-on with these. I've had a chance to use them for a little bit now. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about what it's been like to test them. I'll show you how I've loaded them out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how they compare to some of the other similar items that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. To kick things off, I wanted to quickly talk about the inspiration for this collection. Michael Easter, of course, has a much better explanation on Huckberry's site. They did a really cool video to announce this collection, but in general, the idea is that whenever there is a staircase next to an elevator or an escalator of some sort, only 2% of the population will actually take the stairs. And so, I think that it's a really cool ethos to kind of go for that 2% route and get some additional exercise, choose something that's gonna be a little bit of pain in the short term, but that's gonna have long-term gains. That's a lot of the ideas behind what Michael Easter talks about in his books, which I really resonate with. He's a big advocate of rucking, which of course pairs perfectly with Goruck's bags. I've really enjoyed rucking over the past couple of years. I think that it's a great exercise. And so, yeah, just a really cool idea. Love the whole kind of spirit of that. And then you have two really awesome bags as part of the collection: the Goruck GR2 40 liters and the Bullet Ruck. And this to me is really one of the best combinations for minimal travel. It always felt like these bags were designed to work well together. So you have your larger backpack that's gonna be your carry-on bag that you can use for all of your stuff when you're on the go. You place this into an overhead storage compartment, and then you have the smaller Bullet Ruck on the inside that's gonna be your capable day bag when you arrive at your destination. So really, really great. Both of these are awesome on their own, but this combination, I think, is fantastic if you're somebody who wants to be able to travel with one bag and have something smaller that you can use when you arrive. And so I've featured both of these on the channel in the past in different materials and iterations. And so for this collection with the GR2 40 liter, you have more of a slick styling here. So it's not gonna have the molly webbing on the front or the sides. It's gonna be a little bit more subdued, minimal, which I think makes sense. It's gonna blend in to a lot of different environments. It's not gonna have that tactical appearance that might call more attention to itself, particularly when you're wearing the larger bag. And then for the Bullet Ruck, you do have the molly along the front to give you that added functionality if you wanna clip on some additional accessories. And so this does feel more tactical. I thought it was interesting that the styles don't quite match, but just given the smaller silhouette and more limited organization of the Bullet Ruck, I can kind of understand how having the molly on the exterior can be helpful. And then both of these come in a 420D Robic Ripstop nylon, which I've really enjoyed using. I think that it offers a nice amount of weather resistance, a little bit lighter than the 1000D Cordura. I like that it's just more broken in, flexible. It just molds around everything that's on the inside. I talked a little bit about that for the reviews that I did for the GR1 in the Ripstop fabric. That has continued to hold up well. And I really like that this edition includes the aqua guarded zippers on both bags to give you that added protection against the elements. So really, really just well thought out. I think that this is a great fabric for this collection, particularly on the 40 liter GR2. Even though it's still a pretty heavy bag coming in at about 4 pounds, it can be nice to at least save a little bit of weight due to the fabric. Other things to call out about these additions of the bag is that you do have the Goruck arrowhead on the bottom, but It is blacked out, so it blends in well into the exterior of the bag. You don't have the white arrowhead, which stands out more. So really nice call there. And then you have the 2% patch included with both of the bags, so you can keep that on if you want to represent the collection or the ethos, or you can take it off, customize it with something else if you prefer. And then I'll go ahead and talk through each of the bags individually, just so that we can have better visibility here. And moving to the GR2, as I mentioned, this is the 40-liter size. I'm a big fan of the 26-liter for EDC and personal item usage, and then the 34-liter was kind of the OG one bag travel option for me. This 40-liter is really spacious, particularly with this fabric. I've been so impressed with how much it can hold. Definitely could use this for multiple weeks of travel, and this is a large bag, but it's gonna be something that will fit into an overhead storage compartment on pretty much any flight. If you really pack it out, the weight might start to be a problem on some of the stricter airlines, but the dimensions here are gonna be pretty similar to kind of a rolling carry-on suitcase that would also fit overhead. And definitely not gonna be something that fits under the seat, but that's not really the intention for this bag. And then with the dual compartment layout that we'll take a look at later, you can really carry a ton of stuff, and also this pairs nicely with the Bullet. And then continuing along the exterior, you have the really nice carrying handle at the top, well reinforced. And then this version doesn't really stand up super well on its own. It just tends to lean forward a little bit. There's some slanting on the bag. And then as far as the harness system, like other Goruck bags, this has some really comfortable, well reinforced straps here, plenty of padding. You have the 210 nylon backing on the straps and on the back panel, which I'm a fan of. I like that feels less abrasive than the 1000D. I've talked about that in other videos. You have the webbing on the strap, so if you do want to clip on some additional accessories or pair this with a sternum strap, you will be able to. And then the back panel also feels well padded, very similar to the other Goruck bags that I've talked about on the channel. So this is definitely the type of thing that's gonna make your bag pretty sweaty as you're wearing it, particularly this larger size when it's loaded out with a lot of weight, but that just kind of comes with the territory with these bags. But as they are designed for rucking, they can handle heavier weight very, very well. And then the layout on the GR2 has always been one of my favorites as far as a travel and everyday bag. So you have all the things here that I would want to see from the newer bags in Goruck's collection. So you still have the slanted zippered pocket. On the front, you have the rain flap and the aqua guarded zipper here. And so this is always gonna be a little bit tighter, but a great spot to store something like a tablet or a notebook, or to just toss in some of those items that you might wanna get out of your pockets while going through TSA. And then you'll notice that these zippers work pretty well. I know there's always some concerns with the aqua guards on Goruck's bags, but so far I haven't had to force them too much. Just right out of the box, they've been nice to use. And then you have the quick access pocket here, which is another one of those features that I absolutely love. Just very easy to reach down and grab things like my charger and my AirPods. And so nice amount of space here. You have the red zipper pull so that you can easily find it. You have the aqua guarded zipper, little zipper garage there, so everything is well protected. And then you have the bomb-proof laptop compartment on the back, so well padded, suspended, and on this 40-liter size, this will be able to hold a large laptop comfortably. 15 or 16-inch laptops should fit in here without any issues. And then just a good amount of protection here. You can start to see the liner that we'll take a closer look at as we get into the interior of the bag. And then moving into some of the most unique aspects of this collection in particular. First up, on the straps, you have a really cool hidden compartment here that you can use to store some extra cash or something like a handcuff key, just anything that you want to keep a little bit more hidden. And then one of the things that I was most surprised and excited by was these two zippered pockets on the side, which can work to hold a water bottle. This is something I didn't really think that I would see on a Goruck bag, but so far it's been great to have a chance to experiment with it. I think that this makes sense as far as not sort of going against the traditional Goruck desire to not have a bag that sticks out, that can get caught in something if you're navigating some doorways, things like that. So it still maintains kind of the streamlined silhouette and appearance, but it gives you that functionality. And so you have a nice amount of space here, particularly with this 40-liter bag. This was able to handle my 20-ounce water bottle comfortably. And then, you know, these also have the nice aqua-guarded zippers. I love that they are covered, so they're a little more kind of discreet. It's not as obvious that there's pockets there. And then these types of pockets are also always going to be great for holding additional accessories. I could put some charging cables in there, portable battery, anything that I want to reach a little bit more quickly. And then coming back around to the dual clamshell layout, this is one of the things that I always talk about with the GR2 is how useful this layout is, because you have two separate areas to organize all of your stuff. This really gives you a lot of flexibility, and you know, it opens up flat so you can see everything. I even struggled to kind of fill this bag out with enough stuff, and so I just have some accessories laying here. I have a packable rain jacket, an extra pair of shoes in a packing cube. I have a packable tote just resting there. Then you have a zippered mesh compartment here, which I don't really use because I like this area to be flatter, but it's nice to have. And then you have some additional organization here on the lid. Have a zippered pocket that you can access from the side. Nice amount of space here. I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter. And you have the zippered pocket here at the top, which is always a spot where I tend to put my sunglasses because there's a nice amount of volume and it's near the top, so very easy to get to. And you have the built-in field pocket. And in this Ripstop nylon, I love how flexible this is. It can hold just a ton of stuff. I've actually tossed pouches in here because there's so much volume. At the moment, I have just my USB-C hub with its cables, which I have for charging my laptop, my tablet, and I also have the Evergood Civic Access pouch 1/2 liter because that fit in there without any issue. And then plenty of leftover space. I could use this for a toiletry bag. I have some organization here on the back, mesh compartment, have a field notes notebook, and then my mouse. And now you can get a better look at this orange interior liner. And so this is one of the things that was talked about in the video that Huckberry has on their site, as far as, you know, the choice for this liner being something that could be used to signal somebody if you're lost. It's very bright, and so it's also associated with travel. And you know, it's a nice shade. It's not the ultra bright orange that some of the collaborations that Goruck has done tends to have. So I think that it's a good mix as far as providing contrast and giving the bag a cool color without kind of going overboard. And then moving into the main compartment, this is another clamshell style area. And at the moment, I have a couple of extra accessories in here, but I'll come back to this when we talk about the Bullet Ruck, because that's where I think that this all kind of shines. And so I have a compressible packing cube there from Tortuga, and I have a couple of my accessories here at the top, my Beats Studio headphones, my Lockbeat Tech pouch, and then I have the smaller Peak Design compressible packing cube and a packing cube from Evergoods. And so all of those items were able to fit in there easily, and there was still leftover space. And now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. There is a slip pocket here that you can choose to use instead of the water bottle pocket. And so, you know, great to have that added organization on the inside. It's only on one of the sides here. And then you have the typical slip pocket on the back, a couple of rows of webbing that you can use to pair with Goruck's field pockets. You can clip on additional accessories. And then on the lid, you have some extra zippered pockets, one on the bottom with that vertical orientation, and then another one at the top. So kind of the classic GR2 layout here. And if you just got this bag on its own, it would be a fantastic one bag travel option. It is very popular and legendary for a reason. It stood the test of time, and so great to see it with some of these nice updates and in the newer fabric. But I really like that you have the Bullet Ruck, and this is actually a tip that I received from some viewers on a couple of videos in the past, which is that you can actually put your packing cube in your packable backpack. I feel silly that I never thought of that until I saw those comments. And so you can actually load the Bullet Ruck out. Here I have my Peak Design packing cube, which is the one that I typically use. I have my DOP kit, I have an extra pouch, which, you know, could be another toiletry bag, an extra pair of shoes, just wanted to represent the space. And then you can just toss this in, load it out to take full advantage of the space. And then, you know, I could fill in the gaps with some of the other things. So here I have that Peak Design packing cube And then I could put the shoes in here if I wanted to, or another smaller packing cube. And I now have my 2-bag setup, which is really cool and has just been a very reliable and flexible way to travel that I've come back to over and over throughout the years. And so coming back to the main compartment, I'll take the Bullet Ruck out for a second and load this up with my typical packing cube setup in case you want to see how this would work, because I think many people still prefer to pack their packable backpack flatter instead of filling it up with everything. Let me know in the comments which method you think works better. So I'll come back to the Bullet Ruck in a second, but here I have my typical packing cube setup, the Peak Design cube, larger one, the smaller one, and then I can put that additional packing cube that I had before from Tortuga. That fits in here. I can put the Evergoods packing cube, all of those things, which is more than I would typically have with me, fit very easily. And then you still have that front compartment. If you want to redistribute things so that you can actually pack the Bullet Ruck, I'll take these out. And then the Bullet Ruck, I have it empty at the moment. You can see that it actually manages to get quite flat. So even if you don't want to load it out, you can just place it in here. It fits without any issues. And I still have space to put some of those packing cubes back in. And I can pack this up without any problem, close it up, and that's just another way to kind of organize depending on your preferences and how you're gonna kind of use your stuff. So really like the different options that this collection gives because of the way that everything is laid out, because of the materials. And so coming back to the Bullet Ruck, and just clear the space here a little bit. You can see that orange liner again. And then the Bullet Ruck is one of the more classic bullets. I feel like there's so many different options now with the laptop Bullet Rucks, the double compartment Bullet Rucks, but the classic Bullet became a classic for a reason. This is a layout that's simple but very effective, and so you still have the clamshell opening like many of Goruck's other bags, and then you have that same orange interior liner. One thing to note with this collection is that these are not made in the USA. They're made in Vietnam. I've had great experience with Goruck's bags that have been made overseas, so no issues there with quality, but just something I wanted to clarify in case it's a question that anybody had. On the back of this main area, you have a sleeve that can be used to hold a laptop. Now, this isn't a padded laptop sleeve. This is a slip pocket. You can see that it's not rigid. You do have some padding on the back and on the bottom, which is just a part of the bag's design. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. It's not a laptop compartment in the same sense as what the GR1s have or some of the laptop specific Bullet Rucks. And then you have a D-ring here at the top that you can pair with a hydration bladder. There's no pass-through because you have a quick access pocket, which we'll take a look at in a second. You can see how that comes down here. So you have that addition, which is really nice. And so with this type of layout, I would take the items that I had in the travel bag that I wanted to use for my day-to-day. I don't normally have a packing cube with me, but just to showcase the space. And then I would toss in my Lockbeat pouch, the Civic Access pouch, the Beats headphones, and all of that fits in there very comfortably. This is 16 liters, I believe. And then you have some additional organization here on the lid. So a zippered mesh pocket there, which is gonna be perfect for charging cables and such. So I can just toss those in, zip it up, and then here at the top, you have a perfect spot for sunglasses and other accessories you want to get to quickly. Close that up, and then love having these aqua-guarded zippers, no issues. And then on the quick access front here, you have still a good amount of volume for the same types of items that I would want to keep here that I had in the GR2's quick access pocket. A little tighter, but they're all able to fit in here, which is great to see. And then you still have the zippered pocket on the front where again I can put my tablet. So I'm just swapping all the things that I had in the GR2 into the Bullet Ruck because it's a capable day bag. This is an EDC bag that I can use even if I'm not traveling, but because I want to have something that's reliable, this is the type of thing that I always want to throw into a larger travel backpack. And then coming back to the exterior, As I was saying, this comes in at about 16 liters, so it's got a very slim profile. This is gonna hug your back nicely. It's gonna be great for navigating pretty much any environment, whether it's crowded areas, if you're jumping on a public transit, if you're hiking. Again, I love the promo video that was done for this. They were in some sort of a warehouse in the desert in Las Vegas, so feeling very rugged. And then, yeah, it's just a really good silhouette that strikes a balance of giving you capacity without feeling large. And you have a great carrying handle at the top, well reinforced, and as I mentioned earlier, the webbing, which I will typically pair with the Hero clip. I'll just clip something on there because I love having one of those with me. And then taking a look at the harness on the Bullet Ruck, you again have the 210 nylon on the back, well padded straps. The Bullet Ruck straps are always a little bit more narrow, but I think that it makes sense given the size of the bag. You have the webbing here as well, so you can pair a sternum strap with it. And you have that same kind of hidden elastic pocket that we saw on the GR2 here on the Bullet as well. So that's one of those unique touches that's part of this collection. And on the back, you have, nice amount of padding, not a ton of breathability, of course, but this is something you'll still be able to wear, throughout the day just because it's not a huge bag, and these straps are gonna help manage the weight comfortably. And so if you've been a fan of Goruck, a lot of this will feel familiar as the Bullet Ruck and the GR2 have been around for a while, but you have some nice kind of updates here as far as the additional zippered pockets on the GR2 and some of the nice touches on the Bullet Ruck, as well as the Ripstop material, which I continue to be a fan of. And if you're a little bit newer to Goruck, I think that this is a fantastic entry point. So if you've been curious to try out one of their bags, these are going to be quite friendly as far as also offering the added organization. They're a little bit more broken in. The aesthetic is more subdued. And if you are a fan of Goruck, or if you haven't used Goruck bags in the past, regardless, if you're looking for an excellent 2-bag combo that's going to allow you to travel minimally, carry on only, and these are going to be some of the best options that you can check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 2% collection over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase these on Huckberry's site. The Bullet Ruck is going to come in at around $170, and the GR2 is going to come in at around $415. So definitely an investment for these bags, as tends to be the case with Goruck's products in general. You are getting items that are very solidly built. They're going to hold up well, going to offer a nice feature set, but there's going to be some other great bags in these price ranges that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing these out, they definitely reminded me of some of the other great bags in Goruck's lineup. Goruck has really been coming out with a lot of amazing bags recently. They now have the double compartment Bullet Ruck. They have a lot of different iterations of the GR1, but the 26-liter GR2 is the one that stands out to me as it kind of just lands in the middle of these bags. It's something that has the layout of the GR2, provides a little bit more organization than the Bullet Ruck. It's still daily carry friendly. It also works as a personal item. That's been one of my favorite personal item bags when I've gone to Europe. Really solidly built. There's a couple of different iterations of it. I've been a big fan of the Heritage Edition in particular in wax canvas. I think that it looks great, super durable, very comfortable, and any of the Goruck bags, if you've seen my channel in the past, you know that I'm a big fan of them. You're gonna get a rock solid build quality, but if you're looking for something that just strikes a great balance of all the characteristics that Goruck offers, then the 26-liter GR2 is definitely gonna be an excellent one to take a look at. Another company this made me think of is Bellroy. I'm a big fan of their minimalist aesthetic. They have some really solid bags, both in the travel and everyday carry categories. I've really enjoyed using some of their newer options like the Transit Work Pack Pro and their Light Travel Pack series. The Light Travel Pack comes in 30 and 38 liter sizes, and it's gonna offer a comfortable harness system, really useful layout for travel. And Bellroy also has a packable backpack. Their Light Ready Pack is really impressive, comfortable. It packs right into their travel backpacks comfortably. And then I also like the Transit Work Pack Pro in the 28 liter size in particular. Just a really great minimal travel bag option, great laptop protection, nice organizational layout, comfortable harness system. So checking off a lot of the boxes for what I'm typically looking for. And so if you want an ecosystem that's gonna offer a lot of variety, great quality, then those are gonna be some fantastic options to consider. And then the last options that I'll mention here are the Evergood CTB and CPL bags. I've been a big fan of both of those series for a long time now. They're now offered in a couple of different fabrics. I've talked about the wax canvas editions recently. There's also a couple of different sizes. You have the CPL in the 24, 28, and 16 liter sizes, and the CTB is now available in 20, 26 liter, and 35 liter. So you have a lot of different options depending on the types of trips that you're gonna be doing or your everyday carry. And so really love how many different options are available now. To me, the CTB 26 and CTB 20 are still the standouts. They are the bags that I tend to, gravitate towards if I'm looking for a personal item that has water bottle pockets, that has a luggage pass-through, solid build quality. And then the 26 liter CTB just comes in at a size that I've used for minimal travel. It can hold a little bit more than I would typically need for my day-to-day, but it's still manageable for walking around. Talk about that one all the time on the channel. And so if you're looking for bags that are gonna give you an excellent organizational layout, that are gonna be really solidly built and also offer a subdued aesthetic that's gonna work well in a lot of different environments, and those are gonna be some of the best options that you can take a look at. With that being said, both bags in the 2% collection hold up very well against all those options and are great additions to Goruck's already expansive lineup of bags. I've really enjoyed using the Bullet Ruck and GR2 in the past. I think that they're a great travel combo. If you want to travel with one bag and have a capable day bag when you arrive, they also work well on their own. And I really like some of the additional features that were included as part of the collection. Hopefully some of them make their way to other bags in Goruck's lineup, and I hope that the 2% collection grows. It'd be great to see a 2% edition of the GR1 or another one of the GR2 sizes. And so if you're looking for a Goruck bag that's gonna be highly weather resistant with the Ripstop material and the aqua guarded zippers, and that's gonna offer just, a lot of versatility, then there's gonna be some fantastic options to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the 2% collection and how these compare to some of the other popular travel and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Huckberry for sending the bags for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.